Let's talk about the group C major scales. The scales in this list all have kind of a good news, bad news kind of situation. The good news is that they all share exactly the same fingerings for the right and left hands. So once you have the fingering down, the pattern of the fingering, it's the same for all of them. In other good news, some of these scales are considered to be some of the easier ones. For instance, C major, which just uses all the white keys. And then they basically keep adding one sharp to the mix with each successive scale. The bad news is, because some of these scales don't have many black keys, they're actually a little more awkward to play. Like C major is tough because your fingers aren't able to get deeper into the keys in order to play the black keys. They have to sort of stay further down on the actual key. And it requires like perhaps a little more curve in your fingers than other ones. Okay? Also, because they have no black keys or fewer black keys, and because they have the same exact fingering patterns for each one, sometimes they break the typical pattern we've been working on, which is that when you get to a black key to white key transition, that's where you're going to bring the thumb under or bring a finger over. So on the one hand, they use the same fingerings for all of them, but on the other hand, the fingerings don't make as much sense according to the logic of fingerings, of major scale fingerings we've been discussing. So let's get the C major scale down. As I said, all white keys, so that's what makes it simple in some way. Now the fingering, let's go over it. And again, these is going to be the same fingerings for all 5 of these. Starts on C. Now, of course, since it's all white keys, I could just walk my way all the way up to to 5, to pinky here. But pinky and thumb is a very, very tough transition. So instead of doing that, I'm going to always with these scales transition after either 3rd or 4th finger. So for C major, I play 1, 2, 3. At 3rd finger, cross the thumb under. Get the thumb there. 2, 3, 4. And then in the 2nd octave, thumb again is going to reset me just like I was in the 1st octave. So now I have thumb and I can continue the same fingering pattern. Use pinky on top since I'm not going any further. Bring it down. All the way to thumb, cross over to 3rd finger. So I'm playing the same fingers I did in the lower octaves and on the way up. Now at this point, I was on pinky at the top. I'm on thumb here. I'm going to cross 4th finger over so that I end up with thumb on F again, which allows me to do the same crossover, E 3rd finger, down. So the fingering is, this fingering that you're looking at here is going to be the same for all of them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm continuing up an octave, another octave, I bring the thumb under. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Concluded on 5, bring it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumb, 3rd finger comes over. 3, 2, 1. 4th finger. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So that's C major in the right hand. Let's look at the left hand. Starts on pinky. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just use up all your fingers with the first 5 notes. Cross over now to 3rd finger. Thumb on C here. Now remember, I was on pinky on C earlier, so when I do the crossover now, I'm going to go to 4th finger so that I end up with the same fingers, have the same arrival on G with thumb, and then bring it to the top. Now coming down, you just basically reverse it. 1, 2, 3, thumb to G, 2, 3, 4. I'm continuing down another octave, so I bring the thumb under, 2, 3, thumb under, 2, 3, 4, and I'm finishing things off, so I just end on pinky. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. G major. C major's all white keys. G major adds F sharp to the mix. So, fingering is exactly the same, except you now are going to include F sharp in the mix. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Just like C major. Here we have a nice case where we are on this black key and we get to do a white key, black key to white key transition that we would like to do. Same fingering. 3, 2, 1, 4 over over for the F sharp. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Left hand again, same as the C major left hand fingering. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I ignore the black keyed white key issue there. Keep the same fingering. Bring 4 over. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. And here, thumb here. Same as C major. Okay, G major, at F sharp. Now D major, adds one more sharp. C sharp, F sharp, and C sharp, okay? Same fingering. Right hand, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we start adding black keys into the mix, these scales start to feel easier and easier under the hand. Left hand, same thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Crossover. 1, 2. There's our D major. We add a sharp to the mix now, and we get A major. C, F, and G sharps. Same fingering. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left hand the same. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. There's our A major. E major. Last one. Last scale we need to learn. Adds D sharp to the mix. F, G, C, D. Right hand. Same fingering. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Same on the left hand as well as all the previous ones. 5, 4, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, those are our group C scales. Now just to review that group C minor scale, the F major scale, its left hand is exactly the same as all these other fingerings that we've been doing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Exact same fingering. It's the right hand that differs, and that's what makes that one a little tricky, a little like group C, a little like group B. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm on the black key. Now I cross over. Notice it's different than the other ones, these other group C scales, which all went 1, 2, 3, and then transition to thumb. But you can see how difficult that is. To come up to a thumb transition to a black key requires a whole lot of shifting. So we don't do that. We go to fourth finger on B flat, then we do the transition. And those are the major scales.